Hey, hi everyone. A very good morning and good evening to the everyone who joined the webinar today. So this is a webinar which is running by a QA evaluation bug hunter of tomorrow team, and there are organizing team as well. So I wish to everyone good luck and thanks for providing the platform to showcase my webinar and my skills into the part of the webinar as well. And I wish everyone good luck for their webinar as well. So there are a lot of speakers lined up, and we have a lot of topics and webinar is planned for the session. So please be joined, connected with all the webinars that is followed up. Okay, thank you, team. And yeah, we can get started. So today, the webinar which is I'm going to take, the topic is mastering in the API testing using the Postman tool. So API testing it's kind of like one of the primary skill for QA. You have to do API testing. Earlier it may be in this different team, or it be maybe in the different team or streams. So right now, the market or the current job, maybe they expect you to do the API testing. So API, to be simple, the API testing, it's become one of the essential for the QA role. So you must have some API testing knowledge, how to test your APIs and validate, contract testing, integration testing, everything is coming. So, okay. So so that is what we are going to see. How do we do the API testing by using the tool called Postman? And before we get into the topic, my name is Saravanan Seenivasan. I am working as a senior QA consultant with more than 12 years of experience into the software testing with the different streams of applications, tools, and technologies. Okay, and I wish good luck for our organizing team as well. Okay, yeah. So yeah, so moving with the content, the agenda of the webinar today. So we are going to see what is introduction about the API and overview of the Postman and what are the features we have on the Postman and HTTP methods, test assertions, and CI/CD integration, etc., etc. Okay, so this is quick overview of the content. So before we go into the topics like what is API introduction. So API is just the application program interface which is provide the access to the data and services. Okay, so it is just a communication between the client and the server. Okay, the client, we are the client. So prominently the one who requests to the one make the request is a server, and the one who is going to respond you back is a server. Okay. So we'll be using as a Postman as a client that you make a request to the API as a team or build a third-party APIs for. Okay, so that is what about the API. So the model of the client server will be like this. So as a client, we are going to send a request with the help of internet. It is going to reach the server. The server is going to respond you back. Okay. So any applications that we take we handle today, it's going to be a work in the three-tier model. So three tier is nothing but, so we will be having the presentation layer, which is the top one, and we have application, which is the middle one, and the data layer. So the data layer will help you to define the data. So what kind of database or data server you want to use, and the application is nothing but the application logic. Okay, the functions of the logic. I mean your module logic basically. So the functionality the logic of the applications will be written in the programming language such as Java dot any programming language. So it's a basically logic. Logic will be written in the application layer. So on top of that, we have presentation layer to bring the better usability or the better user easy accessible or kind of like a user friendly model. So we will be using a lot of JavaScript, HTML, and CSS properties to make the application in presentable way. Okay. So these are the three-tier model, any application that we have. Okay. So three-tier model, like for example, so from the presentation layer, the user is going to feed the username password. When they click on login button, it is going to validate in the business layer, which is nothing but our application layer. Then it's go to the data layer. Once it is validated and it is a valid username password, then the system will let you allow, right? So this is what the pictorial representation for the three types. Okay. So web services and types. So we have two types of web services. One is SOAP and one is REST. So before we move to types, what we'll see what is web services. A web services is a software services used to communicate between two devices on the network. Okay, so that is called web services. So all web services are API. Okay, but all APIs are not web services, which means the moment when you make the API, so if you want to make others to use, so you have to host it under some server, which is going to run on the 24 bar 7, right? So in that case, your API becomes a web services. So that's why they mentioned all web services are API, which means the API which is available on the internet are the web, okay, web in the sense internet. So those all API. But still you can create your own API if you want, and if you want to use it for yourself, that remains as a only API. Okay, if it is not exposed them into the web services, I mean, which is a web or internet, so that will remain as a API only. Okay, so two types of web services we have. One is SOAP, which is Simple Object Access Protocol, and the other one is REST, which is Representational State Transfer. Okay, so I mean, we use both. So SOAP and REST, and it has different data transfer format as well. So let's see what is SOAP and what is REST. Okay. So SOAP is, I mean, it use XML data transfer when it is come to REST. I mean, REST also you can use XML, but we use JSON as a predominantly for the REST APIs. Okay, so for REST APIs we will be using JSON, and for SOAP you have to use, I mean, we have to use XML data. So SOAP is more like, I mean, it's kind of like envelope, extra overhead, more bandwidth is required, more work on the both ends. Okay, since because it is dealing with XML data format, that is data is being exchanged. But when it is like coming to the rest, it's more like a similar postcard. It's a lightweight and can be catchy also and easier to update. Okay, so we'll be seeing, I mean, more about the REST APIs rather than the SOAP. Okay, so JSON. So the JSON is a data format which is being used in the our REST APIs. So JSON is like a JSON, a JavaScript object notation, which will help you the data from the server. Okay, and JSON is easy to read and write, and it is lightweight, and it's a language independent, and JSON is often used when the data is sent from the server to web page, and the supported data type would be number, string, boolean, null, object, and array. So these are the data types that is being supported. So whatever we are seeing so far, it is all about the basics of the APIs and what data types will be used, what is the data transfer. I mean, the transfer data type is used, everything. Okay. So next come to the HTTP methods. So we are all sending the request over the HTTP methods, which is HTTP request. So primarily our most commonly used HTTP methods over the internet or over the internet is post, get, put, patch, and delete. Okay. So post is, I mean, to create the new data or to create a new resource to the your database or your server. Okay. And get is meant for retrieve, and put is for the update the resource, and patch is for partially update or modify, and delete is to delete the resource. So predominantly we are going to deal with only these five requests. I mean, out of this we have few other as well. So like options we have trace, everything, and we have head also. So I mean, predominantly we'll be dealing with the post, get. So whenever you want to create a new data, it is going to create a new entry into your database or your account. I mean, your application. Any data that is first time is being created. It can be user creation or it can be post creation, anything. So that will be considered as a post method that is going to return a particular status code. So that will be also, I mean, we'll be seeing that one in the form. So post is meant for create a new record, and read is get is for retrieve and read, and put is for update, and patch is for partial update or modify, and delete is to remove the resource. Okay. So these methods correspond to create, read, and update, delete, or CRUD operations we call as a respective. Okay. So we have every action, I mean, every method that you send, it has a respective status codes as well, and the status message as well. Okay. So the text status code, it will come like a 200. Okay. So 200, anything under 200 series, it is successful response. It's a sign of success. Anything you see on the 100 series, it's going to be a information for you. Okay. And anything under 300, it is redirectional. The redirectional can be like a 302 as a found, a temporary redirect, a permanent redirect. We have a lot of redirection messages. Okay. And anything under 400 series, it's a client response error. I mean, client error. Basically, if you make any mistake, for example, the request body that you are about to send, if you make any mistake, or it can be a spelling mistake. Sorry, not spelling mistake. It can be a syntax issue or invalid data. It is going to return the 400, which is client error. Okay, so 400 client error. I mean, 400 is, I mean, serious is a client error. 400 means bad. I mean, bad request. So we have followed by 401, which is unauthorized. So there will be some API, you have to be authorized person to access those APIs, and there will be some authorization types will be used. So if you miss so this thing, or if you make any mistake over there, so you'll be getting as a 401, which is unauthorized. So similarly, we have 403 forbidden. So you will be having limited access to particular APIs. In those cases, you will be getting as a 403. Anything on the 500, which is server side. So if server went for maintenance or restarted or shut down or internal server error, so those things will come into the 500 series. Okay. So these are the five. I mean, the 5 series you have to remember. 100 is informational, 200 is success, 300 is redirection, and 400 is a client error, and 500 is server. Okay. And this is, I mean, on the high level description. So what is the purpose of GET? And does it have payload or response body, and what kind of I mean the component, like it is a safe or item component or catchable, like we have, I mean, it's a table to describe everything about the all the HTTP methods that we be using as a get, post, put, patch, delete, everything. Okay. So now, so far we have seen the basics about the APIs and what is the REST APIs, HTTP methods, everything. So now we are moving into the Postman. So Postman is one of the tool which will help you to do the API testing with Postman, and you can do some automation also, and you can that automation you can take it to and run on the CI/CD environment that you want. Okay. So before that, like overview of the Postman. So what is Postman? Postman is an API platform for building and using your APIs, simplify the each step of API life cycle and streamline collaboration so you can create the better API faster. Okay. So there are, I mean, multiple tools are available in the market. So there are a lot of alternative also available in the Postman. Like we have Insomnia, we have Swagger, and we have Soap UI. I mean, there are a lot of tools. JMeter also you can do API testing, right? But why we use Postman? Using the Postman, we can make a HTTP request, and there are a lot of test assertions you can write by writing the JavaScript by and using the Chai library, which is supported by nature in the Postman. So you can use those, and it has a lot of things like you can create a monitors and you can create a flows and you can run the CLI environment as well. Okay, so there are a lot of features that is coming along with the Postman. Though there are a couple of new features which is recently released, like a post bot. I mean, so post bot is there. I mean, it's a kind of like AI bot. So if you want to write some validation, so you can use the post bot. Okay. So the features of the Postman. So you can see here. I mean, it has CI/CD and the cloud. It has source control, and it has different types of workspaces, and you can collaborate, API lifecycle, complete documentation, everything. Okay. So workspaces. So we can see the first one is, I mean, workspace. Workspace is nothing but you have, I mean, it has different types of workspace. Workspace is nothing but the placeholder where you want to save, where you want to store your work you have done, your APIs, right? So it has personal, which is only used by you, and we have private, which is paid one, and we have team one where you can collaborate, and the partner and the public. Okay, see, these are the workspaces. So if you want to keep everything as a shared one within the team, then you can go for a team workspace. If you want to something personal, then you can have it in the personal workspace. Okay. And there are something private also on the partner public where you want to collaborate with your partner, then you can go for that particular workspace. Okay. And apart from this, workspace is the first thing. So you need some workspace, you need some placeholder to, to work, to do your API testing, to save or store your work that you have done. Okay. And next one will be collections. So collections is nothing but, so we are going to make a number of requests followed by the sequence like the post, get, pass, right? So this is a flow, like a create user, retrieve the user, modify the user, and update the user and remove the user. Or it can be in the multiple the zigzag model also, or it can be some sequence of order like a 1 to 10. You have to run the collection. You have to run the request, right? So collection is nothing but you can group your Postman requests and examples into the collection to keep your workspace organized. So nothing but it is just a placeholder or folder where you can arrange or where you can keep your request one by one that you want to execute. For example, step number one, step number two. Right? So similarly, request one, request two, followed by it will run in the sequential order. When you run as a collection, so it will run in the sequential order. So we have a collection runner also. The collection runner will enable to run your API request in the collection in the specified sequence. Okay, it is going to run in the specified. Like for example, you have request 1, 2, 3, 4, right? It's going to run by 1, 2, 3. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4 it will run. Okay, and there are a lot of options we can use on the collection runner. You can schedule your collection runner, and you can run in the CLI mode also. There are a lot of things. Okay, and you can pass the test data if you want to use. For example, you have something like a test data creations. For example, I want to create 100 user or 100 data entry. I have to make it for the test data. So you can create only one request that you can keep it in the collection. So you can make everything as a data variable that you can input the data from the external file such as CSV file or JSON file. So it is going to one request with the different 100 data. It is going to create 100 data. Okay, so that is also possible. So collection will help you. In different. It has a lot of purpose to uh, work with the collections. Okay, so there are a lot of things to do with the collections. And apart from this, yeah. So the manual testing or the functional testing. Okay, so you will use Postman and you will make the request. The response is going to come, and you can validate the response is coming in correctly or not. Right? So that is we are going to verify through the eyeballs. Yeah, that is fine when you do functional testing. So along with this, you can do the scripting also in the Postman. Okay, so the Postman supports JavaScript. So you have to, you if you are good in creating the JavaScript code, you can write the functions and you can validate. Or we have some snippets also default available in the Postman. So just by clicking on the snippets, you can generate some template for the test cases. For example, validating the status code or validating the response time or the response size and the JSON validation by using the JSON path, right? So we'll be, you can write, a lot of test cases that you want to validate. So that will give you the right results of, basically it's assertion. So I'm going to retrieve one particular user record, and I want to confirm the expected name or ID or mobile number is coming in the response, right? So Postman contains powerful runtime based on Node.js that allow you to automatically the dynamic behavior to request and collection. So you can have this Postman scripting in the collection level as well as in the request level also. Okay. So if you see the down, the picture is the collections is nothing but a folder. You have pre-request script. You can write a test and the pre-request script. Pre-request script is nothing but kind of like a precondition. If you want to define something before you run this particular request, okay, and and followed by your request will be executed, and you will be getting the response. After response came, you can see again the collection level also we have test scripts, and the request level also you have test scripts, and the folder level also you have test scripts. So in the test scripts, you can write the test cases, which is by using the JavaScript code. So you can write the test case. Okay. So it is going to use the chai library assertions from the JavaScript. Postman support chai library, which is basically start with pm dot expect. Okay. So expect is the statement where it's used by the assertion purpose. Okay. So next one is CLI. So yeah, so far we have using the Postman tool to run our collections and everything. But how do I take this one into my CLI, which is nothing but any command line interpreter I want to run my collections? Yes, it is possible. Okay, so that's where the Newman will come into the picture. Newman is a command line collection runner for the Postman. It enables to run the test Postman collection directly from the command line. Okay, and it is built with the extensively in the mind so that we can integrate with the continuous integration also. Okay, and the Newman is the library which is reside in the npm registry, which is nothing but Node Package Manager or Node Package Module. Okay, so this is the one option we have in the CLI, and Postman recently introduced the Postman CLI, which is, I mean, without using the Newman. So Newman is nothing like extra library, so you have to um, install the Node.js in terms of to use Newman, because the Newman resides in the npm. Okay, but if you want to directly use Postman CLI, that is also part of it, the secure one. So you have to generate some Postman key, and you have to pass in the collection ID along with your environment variables or any variables or data sheet that you have. You can run them very well. Okay. And CI/CD integration, yes. So it has CI/CD integration. So you have created some collections. So in that collection, you want to run particular CI/CD environment like a Jenkins, Azure DevOps, or GitHub Actions. Anything if you want to run, yes, we can run them. So what you have to do, you have to take out the collection. When you export, it is going to come as a JSON. So you can run as a JSON file, or you can, run the collection by using the collection ID, because the work that you are going to store in the particular workspace, it is going to sync up in the Postman server. Okay, so you will be getting some unique ID, kind of like a Qt ID or UUID. So with that help, also you can run your test cases in the CI/CD environment as well, like a Jenkins or Azure DevOps, any CI/CD. So that is listed. So this is overall view of the API testing pipeline. Okay, so build a resilient system that create, React changes. For example, this is the API development lifecycle, right? So build, test, collections, Newman, monitor, and analytics and alerting. So all these things are available in the code. Okay, so you can create the monitoring as well, API monitor. So you can create one collection and you can schedule the collection to monitor the APIs are up and running all the time with a particular interval of time. Okay, so you can test the collections and through the Newman and analytics, and you can get integrated to the alerting system like a Slack, Teams, any alerting system that you have, you can integrate them. Okay, so this is all about the API development life cycle. Okay, and before we move to things, there are so many things we can done with the Postman. Okay, so I have created a lot of my videos. It is available on my YouTube channel. So if you go to YouTube and if you just type Saravanan Seenivasan, which is my name, I talk, a lot of things about the Postman and the REST APIs, everything on my channel. Okay, so you can go and, check the thing. So this is on the high level thing, whatever the things that you want to do. So these are the features that is available in the post. Okay, so you can, if you are new to API testing, then I would, strongly recommend to start with the Postman tool. So eventually you can get into the complete automation framework that is no tool involved, right? So you can go for 100% customizable code by writing your own framework. But to start with the REST APIs, so the Postman is the best tool where you can start with them. Okay, and you can even slowly writing some JavaScript assertion statement into the test tab, and you can do it. You can from there you can go for the next level. Okay. So any questions or answer? Yeah, I'm happy to answer those things. All the questions. So if you have questions, anything later you get into, maybe you can directly give me the ping on the LinkedIn as well. So I will be very happy to answer those questions. Okay. And we have some resources and downloaders also. So the Postman has their own academy. So maybe I can share this all the links in the video description as well. So Postman Academy we have and Learning Center, and there are 30 day of challenge with the Postman, and there are 15 days challenge also available. I forgot to mention here. Especially for the tester, they have 15 days of challenge. So when you complete this kind of challenge, they will give you some kind of like a badge from the postman recognizing you and telling this badges is giving to this badge is given to you for the completing this particular challenge. And there will be a lot of postman activity also will go on. So you can participate and you can showcase your skills as well. Okay. So yeah, that's all about the postman. I mean things. So if you guys have any questions or any doubts, please feel free to reach out me on the LinkedIn forum, as well as you can reach out through the email as well, where you can find on my YouTube. My YouTube channel name is Saravanan Seenivasan. Okay. So once again, thanks to the entire team, and thanks for the QA evaluation team as well, and running the successful webinar. And thank you for the organizing team as well. So wish you all, everyone, very good success, and continue to attend all the webinars that come across all the way to you. So we will learn together and we'll grow together. Thank you very much once again for the providing this such opportunity to interact with you guys. Thank you. Good luck.